Couch, fit for 4 people, situated in the center. Comfort game station, which is a type of bookshelf full of VR games, VR glasses, VR pods, and a safe built into the bookshelf immediately behind. The safe acts as the kitchen/pantry, and it contains the valuable monthly portion of hydro-nutri pills. The health and hygiene section, stage right. The whole warehouse looks orderly and neat. A man by the resting station with VR set on plays a fighter pilot flying a combat mission. He starts swaying from side to side to show how immersed he is in the VR game. Faint noise from the airplane from the game is heard. Pounding is heard at the door. Man does not react. Continues his game. Heavier pounding is produced from the other side of the door. Man disappointingly takes off his VR set and reacts to the pounding of the door.
Who is it?
It's me, Darla. I can't find my entry pass card for home. I lost it while waiting in line for the hydro nutri pills. Please let me in.
Daughter, I've warned you about losing your entry pass card. Your brain needs to keep track of your items. I cannot wait until your VR pin is activated. Your scatterbrain non-VR behavior has grown quite tiresome. I shall take a pause from my game and open the door to our home to you, daughter, but for one last time. Next time you misplace your entry pass card, I shall leave you to sleep outside. Tomorrow, I will walk to the ground officials to request that your pin is activated as soon as possible.
Logan walks over to the door and opens it. Eva pushes in and slams the door shut behind her. She's a girl of about the age of 14, and she's wearing rags. Her hair is a frizzy mess. She is hurriedly hiding a sledgehammer in her bag.
Just a moment. You're not Darla. Who are you? You're a real in my house.
Look at me. Don't you remember me?
Vaguely familiar, but I don't think I know you.
I remember you. I would never forget you.
Eva scans the room and locates the health and hygiene area and the resting station where the family plays their VR games and the game comfort station with the safe in it.
I do not know what you're doing in my warehouse, but you'll have to leave.
Eva pulls the sledgehammer out of her bag, plainly walks to the safe, and starts smashing it.
What on earth are you doing? This is safe and private property. You cannot just barge into someone's house and vandalize their belongings. You stop this nonsense instantly.
I've come to get what's rightfully mine.
How would you even know where our hydro... Never mind. Stop bothering me now. You less than nothing real.
He grabs her by the shoulder and spins her around, and when he looks into her eyes, he realizes who the girl is.
Eva?
At that moment, the sledgehammer crashes into the left side of his head, and he falls down, dead, bleeding from the left side. Eva begins to rummage around and ransacks the warehouse. End of scene. Scene 1. Same warehouse as in prologue, except ransacked. 2 cracked VR glasses, smashed VR equipment, the dead body bleeding from his face, stage center, a ripped-up resting station, 1 comfort cushion carefully strewn on the floor, and the girl, Eva, standing, shaking and fuming with the sledgehammer in one hand. There is a hole in the bookshelf where a wooden board used to be, with a safe that has been vandalized and pried open, showing 2 small bottles and 1 larger one labeled Original on it. The entry pass card is activated, and a noise is heard in the warehouse door. The warehouse door creaks as it's opened slowly. Eva takes the bottle labeled Original from the safe, stuffs it in her pocket, runs and hides in the next section of the room, the health and hygiene area. She grabs something from a drawer just before Darla, a girl aged about 10, enters with 2 bottles that are identical to the 2 small ones that are in the safe.
Hello, Daddy. There was such a long line to get the hydro nutri pills. We're set again for food and water for the next 30 days. Daddy? Oh, are you so involved in your VR game again that you cannot answer?
She sees her father's lifeless body on the floor.
Oh! No! Who murdered my father? Who would even have thought to commit such a violent crime? I said who is the culprit?
Eva, with a razor blade in her hand from the health and hygiene section of the house, as well as with a sledgehammer in the other hand, appears.
I did. And I murdered your father because of his blunder.
You're just a virtual slave. How would you even know to murder my father? Why would you, out of all the real, slaughter my father? And why did you ransack our house? The safe is smashed open, the resting station is ripped apart. Look at this mess. Look at you. Give me back our bottle. It's the only valuable possession we have that we really care about, because they're the original model of the hydro nutri pills. We can use our virtual printers to print hydronutri-pills from the original model in case of power outages when the government cannot deliver them. And besides, what was my father's blunder that you killed him for?
Darla gets cut off by Eva, who presses the razor to Darla's neck. Darla takes a couple of steps back, and Eva pulls her off stage, towards the left of the audience. Curtain falls behind them to cover the ransacked warehouse. Scene 2. Eva and Darla continue talking off stage, as the stage behind the curtain is set again, and the neat warehouse in the beginning of the prologue scene. But this time, representing Eva's family's warehouse.
Listen to me and listen carefully. My name is Eva and I'm age 14. I just became an adult. I was young one then, but this whole mess, when this whole mess started, only 7 years old. My family was virtue, from the virtual reality upper class, just like yours is now. One night, 7 years ago.
Eva takes out her VR pin from her pocket, dials a few numbers, points it towards the stage, and presses another button. The curtain opens again as if a TV is switched on, except it's a hologram. On stage, 2 adults, Eva's parents Lena and Finn, and 1 teenage girl, Eva's sister Cassandra, aged 15, are in their resting stations with their VR sets on. The adults are deeply involved in their games, oblivious to their surroundings. Lena is playing the game called Marie Antoinette, Queen of France, and Finn is playing the game Roger Federer, tennis icon, while the girl has fallen asleep with her VR set on.
Your parents, Logan and Ambrosia, who were reels at the time, barged into our warehouse and made a mess in our house, just like I did tonight with yours, until they found our original hydronutri-pill bottles. Unfortunately, my older sister, Cassandra, woke up.
Cassandra takes off her VR set and rubs her eyes.
What's going on?
She addresses the intruders.
Are you the new VR figure? It's fabulous. You look so very real. Wait a moment. How can I can see you without my VR glasses on? How very odd.
You stupid Verdi, I'm real!
He launches at Cassandra with his razor blade with the intent to slash her throat. Logan now runs toward Cassandra, slits her throat multiple times. Cassandra slumps to the ground, dead, as Ambrosia lets go of her. Eva then presses pause on her VR chip to stop the hologram.
Cassandra had no chance. I miserably watched my 15-year-old sister have her throat slit with a razor. What a barbaric act committed by your family. Only reals could behave in such a hideously primitive way.
Eva, please!
I loved my sister. She was the only one to sometimes abandon her VR set and play flashlight tag, pretend school, and occasionally jump rope with me, like kids did in the pre-VR times. I cherished the jump rope she gave me. I carried it around wherever I went. And you know what your family did next?
I'm afraid to ask.
Watch what happens next.
Eva presses the play button on her VR chip again.
Cut the VR wires. We don't want the parents to be able to push the emergency button to get the military involved.
Ambrosia starts cutting the VR wires.
Now that we don't have police anymore, the Supreme Leader always sends the military to send in to solve any disputes. And everyone, no matter how guilty or innocent, gets immediately executed because the Supreme Leader cannot stand discord of any kind. He or she, we don't even know, is so worried about a revolt and totally paranoid. Oh, one wire down, one to go.
She points at Lena to indicate for Logan to do the same, that Lena's wires were cut first. Logan swiftly moves in front of Lena. Lena takes off her VR glasses, furious towards Logan, who's standing in front of her.
How dare you cut off my power to my favorite Marie Antoinette, Queen of France gang, you heathen, you!
Without uttering a word, Logan grabs Lena and cuts her wrists. She watches the blood flow out like streams and passes out in shock and fright.
I cut the second wire. I still have one to go. Hurry.
Ambrosia points towards Finn. Logan rushes towards Finn. Finn, with his VR glasses still on, pushes some buttons on his VR wrist pin to try to reboot the system.
What by all the VR equipment that is sacred is going on? 1 second I'm Roger Federer, the famous tennis icon of the 2000s, and the second the power decides to go out again. Now, these power outages seem to be happening more and more frequently with these violent hurricanes and tornadoes. Don't you think, Lena?
She takes off her VR glasses,
Lena!
looks around, adjusting the eyes to the real world,
What
and
happened
sees
to
Lena on
you?
the floor. Eva pauses the hologram.
When my dad realized that this was a home invasion, he attempted to attack your parents. However, each of your parents, those heathens, had a gun, and my dad only had his imaginary tennis racket to defend himself. He was shot dead instantly.
As Eva presses play, Finn collapses instantly with a fatal gun wound to his heart.
Oh, Eva, please quit this gory reality talk. I shall faint. We are not used to hearing such real talk. I practically live in my VR world and do not know how to act without my VR set on. My only interaction with the real world is my monthly errand to get the hydronutri pills.
Quit whining. I know you virtues love your violent reality games. Remember, I was a virtue at one point.
In our VR games, we have violence. But no one really gets hurt. And no one really suffers. I swear I shall scream if you go on.
Once your parents realized the home invasion had gone bad, and they switched gears and harvested all our family's VR pins and implanted them into their own wrists in order to become virtues. This ordeal was so gut-wrenching to watch. I still have nightmares.
Watch.
Eva pushes the play button on her VR pin again.
Logan, that first girl you killed, she mentioned another name. Eva.
Yeah.
Where is Eva? She must be a kid. No adult would last off their VR system for this amount of time.
Both stop their grueling VR extraction activity and look around. Child sneezes heard in the water closet.
She's in the hygiene section of the warehouse. Get her.
Don't worry. There's no way out of the health and hygiene section. She can't jump out of a second floor window. Besides, she's only a little girl. I'll catch her.
They continue the VR pin extraction. Eva's 7-year-old self darts to the window in the back of the health and hygiene section. She unravels the jump rope Cassandra had given her, ties it on the radiator in front of the window, and proceeds to escape through the window.
The girl is escaping.
Eva, come back. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. Come back. Come back to me.
Eva turns off the hologram and the curtains close.
Our eyes interlocked for 1 second, and that's when his face forever was imprinted on my mind. I didn't remember for 1 second. However, I knew I would one day have revenge. My sole mission from that day forward was to wipe out your entire family to avenge the suffering of its lives.
Scene 3. Darla and Eva continue to talk by the audience as the curtain behind them is closed.
Oh, Eva. What you are showing me with your hologram sounds just so very treacherous. My parents never told me of this terrible account you're telling me of me now.
Yes, it is deeply perfidious, like nothing I've ever experienced in my whole life. And even though I lived through it all, I feel so guilty for having been the only survivor of my family. I wanted revenge from that day on.
Eva's 7-year-old self reappears stage right as the curtain is still closed, hanging by the handle of her jump rope, looking down, talking to herself.
Oh, I'm still a whole story above the ground. I cannot hold on any longer. Well, I'm just going to let go and hope for the best.
Eva lets go and falls to the ground, landing hard on her right side. She gets up, holding her right arm, and limps away, running as fast as she can through the night. Eva points her VR chip at stage again as Eva's 7-year-old self continues to run as the curtain opens. A man is squatting in front of an open fire, grilling some small animals on a stick. There's a line of reels going to the man, giving him something, and he trades them one of the animals. On stage is a large cardboard crate put together from many smaller cardboard crates, and a large raised garden bed. Eva finally stops her running, limping towards the man, still holding her right arm with her left.
Thank God it's morning. It's that horrid smell. It's kind of partially burnt, but then maybe not so bad. The smell is almost delicious. Is it making me feel hungry?
Abel Street Meat notices the virtue.
Well, hey, kiddo! You know my rat on the stick is the best in the area, so why don't you plop on down your trade? Take a rat and get on out of here. It's bad for business having people like you birdies hanging out here.
Eva's 7-year-old self tries to cover up her English Verdi accent, but unsuccessfully speaks with an English accent and with Southern American words.
Ain't got no trade. I ain't got nothing. I found this Virtue clothing in the dumpster yonder by that apartment complex over there just yesterday.
Still makes you look like a birdie. But you know what? Today is your lucky day. 'Cause I needs me a new rat catcher. The government killed off my last one a few days back for stealing a puppy from a grand official. Bad move, I tell you. And my supplies are running low. But if you help me out, I can offer you protection. I can even show you how to cut that VR chip out of your wrist. I can tell you this much. You never last a day in the streets with that birdie chip.
He points at Eva's left wrist, Eva's 7-year-old self hiding her chip with her right hand now.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you heard me right, child. No sense in hiding who you are. I don't care about your past. You're welcome to stick around with us as long as you pull your weight. Look in that immense cardboard crate over there.
Abel points to a crate next to a tall oak tree. Eva walks to the crate and opens one flap of the cardboard crate. She sees some rags that serve as a bed and a small boy about 6 years old in a makeshift wheelchair.
That's my house. I'm Abel Street Meat. And that's my boy Tucker. A woman died in childbirth and the government wanted me to euthanize the baby because he has lots of issues, but they don't want to deal with the treatments he needs. I took him from the hospital and now's ourselves right to feed ourselves and trade for his treatment. So you see, today is your lucky day. I really needs me a new rat catcher now. You want the job?
Lucky day. Oh, deal. I got nothing.
Abel tosses Eva a rat stick who fumbles to catch him.
You got yourself some breakfast.
Eva's 7-year-old self catches the stick, eating real food for the first time, while Abel gets back to feeding the people and trading.
You can get some vegetables from the garden behind my dad.
Eva's 7-year-old self searching for the vegetables, picking up some torn pieces of clothing.
Where exactly are the vegetables?
Oh, the carrots are in the raised bed. They are growing in the ground. You have to dig them out.
Eva moves towards the garden bed, digging out the carrots and eating.
Ew! How very disgusting! You are eating vegetables directly from the soil? I thought that eating vegetables in nature was just an urban myth. Oh! I'm about to gag. The only time we eat real food is when we're sick, but we eat processed food then.
Curtain closes. Scene 4. Eva walks on stage and starts to narrate. She becomes her 13-year-old self.
I went from being a virtue to a real in seconds. Can you imagine how much of a fall that was? Yet thanks to Abel and Tucker, I survived. And even with their help, it still took me years to track down your family.
Eva fidgets with her VR pen, then projects a new hologram on the screen, on the stage. A boy of about 7 walks on stage towards the warehouse door with 4 bottles in his hand.
I traveled from house to house, compared my VR pen to each pin symbol on the top until I found my family's pin on your house. I was easily able to stalk your family because you were so oblivious to everything around you. First, I targeted your brother.
13-year-old Eva's self is following him closely behind, unnoticed by the boy.
Hey! What are you going to do to my brother? He's innocent! He's just getting our monthly pill portion!
13-year-old Eva's self follows the boy up the steps of the warehouse, then clubs the boy with a sledgehammer, just as he's about to use the entry pass card to his warehouse home. Eva's 13-year-old self runs away and joins Darla again as her 14-year-old self.
Oh, enough already! I hate this kind of unfiltered content. You're a vicious woman. I hate you. How can your account even be true? You're lying. We were told that my brother enlisted in the Ultimate Leader Ministry of Games, the most important job there is in the United States of virtual reality. It is the biggest honor to be asked to join Dr. Gootfried and he teamed to write the VR games.
Eva shakes her head and presses play to show military men carrying Darla's brother's dead body off stage. Eva clicks for the hologram to disappear as the curtain closes.
The military lie all the time in order to avoid trouble with the Ultimate Leader. They cover up crimes all the time. They're afraid of the wrath of the Ultimate Leader. Whenever there's a sign of an uprising, even a sign of an unexplained death, they always get blamed and heads roll before they can explain what happened. They just told your family that your brother was joining the Ministry of Games to get you off their backs. You know how the game writers are kept hidden away in order not to be able to spill secrets of the games they're writing. Well, if your brother joined, you'd never know that he was dead.
My brother is dead. You killed my brother?
You know how your mother died the day before July 4th, Independence on VR Day? You know, she was very sick for about a year beforehand.
How do you know that?
Scene 5. Curtain opens, showing the neatly set up warehouse representing Darla's home. Eva steps on stage and presses play.
I've got your suit, Ambrosia.
Disguised as a nurse.
In the olden days, people used to eat real food like this meal all the time. And they say that there's some medicinal properties to the actual food that is lost in the hydrometric pills. So eat up.
What a disgusting life. Why would anyone want this actual food? It smells vile and it looks even worse. It makes me gag. Besides, you miss out on all the VR time when you eat. Plus all the effort that goes into purchasing and preparing the meal. Why would anyone want to live in such a horrid life?
True. However, you should not ignore doctors' orders. Doctors have the ultimate leader's ear and can get you in real trouble because of our leader's germophobia. Let's eat up.
All right. I'll eat and hopefully I'll recover soon so I can resume my VR life. This life, this real life, doesn't suit me at all. It's not suiting me at all. Not.
She takes a bite and suddenly slumps forward, dead. The curtain closes. Darla gasps and Eva drags her off stage. Scene 6. The ransacked warehouse as in scene 1, representing Darla's family's warehouse again. Eva still holding the razor at Darla's neck.
Yes, this scenario is exactly what happened to Mother. The nurse? It was you?
You're catching on. Yes, it was me. Just imagine, you let me, the person who killed your mother, into the warehouse. How does that make you feel? In any event, that soup had just the right amount of rat poison that would kill her. Slowly. It's the last meal that finally did her in. You know we reals have our primitive ways, as you call it.
Even no! You were the only one who slaughtered my whole family. Now stop now! I refuse to believe you, that my parents were so perfidious.
My mission of wiping out your family will finally be complete. Sweet revenge.
Eva takes a step back to swing the sledgehammer better. She trips over the comfort cushion on the floor, dropping the razor in the process. Darla scampers to pick up the razor.
Now we both have a weapon, don't we? What happens next? You're not going to kill me for real, are you? My parents were kind and supported the ultimate leader. You are a mad, pathetic girl. Get out of my house! Your VR pin has obviously been corrupted. You totally holograph shopped this whole scenario.
I'm telling you the truth. I have proof.
Eva pulls out her pin and holds it out to Darla.
Have a look. Here's my family's VR pin. It's the same as yours.
Darla looks at the pin.
No. You're telling the truth. It is the exact same one that I have.
As you can see, there's no other way out. I must complete my mission and kill you. Now.
Eva lifts the sledgehammer and swings it at Darla's head. The lights fade. Epilogue. Lights slowly come back on. A neatly arranged warehouse. Darla sits with the woman on their resting station. The woman gently removes Darla's VR glasses. Darla, eyes blinking to clearer vision, begins to see the face of her mother, the woman sitting next to her.
Hey, darling. I thought we lost you for a moment. This new VR program, Scared to Death, is really as authentic as advertised. You know, the vital signs on your VR blood pressure monitor went totally berserk. We almost lost you. I'm glad you're back with us again.
Oh, wow. I totally agree. But I really do feel more alive than ever.
Well, maybe next time we could all be player characters in the game together. In real-time mode. I've heard that that's even gorier and more perfidious that way.
Oh, let's ask Dad and Tim to join us. As a matter of fact, let's start the game right now.